Hey, I'm Britta Erickson. I'm the festival director for the Denver Film Society. We're sitting at our home theater, the FilmCenter. I'm also the producer of a film called Actor Martinez. And I'm sitting here as the thorn between these two beautiful roses. My co-producer, Patrick Hackett, and our big-time movie star, Arthur Martinez. So, you're watching Groovey.TV.
Yes.
Hey, this is Groovey. I'm here with the producers and the main star of Actor Martinez, Patrick and Britta. Arthur Martinez, how the heck are you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
And how are you, sir?
I'm very happy.
I'm very happy too. So, I watched the film. I was blown away by how many layers it had. The ending, some of the scenes were incredible. Like, how did it all come together? Because I know it was like just, I had to be crazy.
Oh, this film was crazy. Do you want me to take this?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna hold on to this. Excuse me. I would say that this film, from a producerial standpoint, we just had to have a lot of trust in the directors, and they came with a vision, and it wasn't always clear what they were doing, and if we were actually going to achieve that vision. But you just had to have the trust that we were eventually going to get to the place that we got to. And by the time we saw the rough cut, we were both pleasantly surprised and very pleased with what we had in the can.
So, you personally, like, what were some of the times when you're like most worried? Like, oh my God, is this thing actually going to be pulled off? Kind of?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. We shot for 28 days?
22 days?
22 days?
2 days.
It only felt like 300 days. Mike Ott and Nathan Silver are both amazing directors.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching both of their careers for quite a while, and actually screened a lot of their films at the Denver Film Festival.
Okay.
They're kind of two of our favorite indie filmmakers, and well known with our audience. And so they've been here multiple times, and actually that's kind of how the project came about. They met Mr. Martinez at the Denver Festival. He's one of our great volunteers. And they had been kind of out on the festival circuit together with their own films and got to know each other. And then they ended up both here at the same time in Denver.
Okay.
And Mike was fascinated with Arthur, and he introduced him to Nathan. And next thing I know, I'm being pitched to produce a movie
What was your
about
initial
Arthur.
reaction to the first pitch?
My first reaction was no. Why?
That is awesome.
And then they told me, oh, we're just going to make it for this amount of money. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to let you make a movie for that little amount of money. Let's make it for double that. So, yeah.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, because of what Patrick said, they're great filmmakers. We put our trust in them.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly delivered. Arthur continues to fascinate me all the time,
I think he did.
and is really terrific in this film.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we are still not sure whether we know Arthur.
Yeah, that's actually one question. I'm only going to ask you one question the whole time. Do you cry? Do you cry?
I had some very good crying performances in theater, and yes, I had to use tricks, and it took a lot of planning. It's not my normal thing. It just isn't.
No, man, you delivered like this whole time. Like, we've known each other for years. I mean, we've tipped some pints together. I'm watching this film going, do I really even know who Arthur is?
I didn't during this film. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Dude, you got chops. You delivered.
But I didn't know what I was doing. But it's cool. I'm happy. I was just like these guys. I didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. So.
But I think if you didn't bring your A game, especially in some of the scenes with Lindsay, I believe, there's no way this film would have pulled it off. There's no way. I think you delivered A game for sure.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to. It was like fighting in the dark. So I did my best. Yes, it was like fighting in the dark. Crazy.
That's the byline. No, how did all the rest of the cast come together?
Well, we knew we were making a film about Arthur.
Right.
And but at the time we didn't know what we were going to call it. So it was the Untitled Denver Project. Nathan really wanted to work with Lindsay. We knew that from the get-go. That was part of the initial pitch.
And she's amazing.
She's a fabulous actress,
Yeah,
and she really
mind-blowing.
put her heart into this one. It was tough for her. It was tough.
believe it.
She knew very little as well, and coming into Denver to work and arriving a little later in the game after we'd already started, and just kind of trying to catch up with where things were at, and none of us being able to really say where we were at. And so her arc is fascinating in the film, and it was interesting to watch it from offsets, how she was processing everything that was happening on set.
That first scene with Arthur and Lindsay, where they first start to basically just crumble and the relationship's going to crap and everything, and like that scene where I guess it goes meta and everything, like that, I can't even imagine trying to pull something like that off, but it was done masterfully. Yeah, absolutely. Incredible.
Much to Arthur's credit.
I do that to Patrick. She held us together on the set.
And then the rest of the cast was found in various different ways. I think Mike maybe Arthur introduced us to Kenneth.
No, I didn't know Kenneth. Well,
Okay.
I kind of knew Kenneth before, but no, I didn't really.
But Mike found an amazing American Idol edition that Kenneth Burba did on YouTube, and so became fascinated with Kenneth, who I think is really amazing in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That whole dinner scene where he's eating and telling the endless joke makes for great viewing. Just it makes audiences so uncomfortable. It's been interesting. We screened.
Was that even scripted?
In his mind, it was.
Okay, cool.
We premiered at Rotterdam, was our world premiere, and so it was interesting to watch audiences, how they reacted to this there, which I think was very different than the way the audiences reacted to it in Tribeca. In Rotterdam, they didn't find this to be a comedy. Tribeca very much, the audiences kind of got that you could go ahead and laugh along with us on this one.
Yeah, it's so many layers. It's amazing. Now, speaking of Tribeca, let me give you the microphone over there. Like, what was that experience like being at Tribeca and like landing in the top 10 and everything that happened?
I mean, the press beforehand was amazing, and just walking in there with a little bit of notoriety and people kind of anticipating, people like finding out that we were the producers of Actor Martinez, and finally someone going, "Oh, I can't wait to see that film." It just put a little bit more excitement into it. I mean, you're in New York City, and there's so much history of cinema there, and just the lore of the big city, and just everything about it just made it so much more bigger and more fun, and the audiences were packed the houses, and they enjoyed it. And then we had some great conversations that came afterwards. I like Britta said, I think I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just the American culture differences, but they definitely felt like they had the permission to laugh, and we weren't laughing at them. That we were laughing with the experiences and with the situations, and it made it a little bit more jovial and a little bit more lighthearted. Where the Rotterdam screenings, they were tense. Some people just did not know what to do, and they were
this thing is.
Yeah, they were just confused afterwards. I mean, a lot of people loved it. A good handful of people just hated it, and then the rest of them were confused. Then they watched the Q&A and were even more confused. We're like, okay, I thought you were supposed to answer more questions in the Q&A, and now I've got 100 more questions to ask, and I don't know what to do. And so, I mean, that for us as producers, getting to sit back and watch that was worth the trip across the pond.
That's awesome.
They were amazing.
And I'm not going to say when it happens or anything, but that pause, it is like the longest pause, and you're just like my eyes were just going, oh, I'm going to move to the edge of my seat. I'm like, what the hell's going to happen? It was amazing. It was so good. So, Arthur, you went through the ringer on this one. Like, you made it through. You survived. I mean, how do you feel about the whole experience?
I'm kind of still scared to death of it. I was scared to death of it to start, and it's a roller coaster. It's craziness.
I know. I'm proud of you, man.
It's been very busy. My activity is like yikes. Just trying to keep up with it has been a lot.
Sure.
So, and it's an amazing thing that, I mean, thank you both, the producers, for making this happen because, wow, that's a lot of work. I didn't have anything to do with that, thank God.
Would you ever do another film like this again?
You know, everybody keeps asking me that. I'd like to do a couple of normal films real quick. Maybe a film with a script. I do have a couple of films that are lined up that have scripts. We'll see how they come out, you know. Okay. But yeah, sure. This is intense. It's
I could tell some of those scenes were
way intense. So yeah, that I'll do it again.
Right on. Right on. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Go see Actor Martinez. Seriously, it's amazing. I loved it.
I had to plug Groovey. He's been really a great supporter of our community. This guy is doing awesome work. And Dino, behind the scenes. Ow! Yes. Thank you guys for really doing a great job. Yeah.
Bye. There you go.